Okay, very welcome students to today's lecture on PERT and CPM. This is the last point of your, yes, Shruti. What's your question, Shruti? Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all. So I'm sharing the desktop without wasting time for other formalities. Today's date is 14th August 2020, and we are going to see the this PERT and CPM problems. Yesterday we have already seen the PERT and CPM in its detail. So today we are going to see this PERT and CPM in the complete thing. So we actually the problem how to build the PERT and CPM. So I'm not using something like a thing. Instead, we will go through the complete book, chapter 10. This book is written by Hiller and Lieberman. It's a seventh edition, and the chapter on the project management. And the chapter 10 is how the PERT and CPM is the part and see the how it actually works and build up per CPM something. So we also take many. Okay, so let's see what is PERT and CPM. I think this is readable to everybody. Okay, so these are the two operation research techniques, related operation research technique. What we say that is two closely related operation research techniques which are available to assist the project manager in carrying their responsibilities. So if we see the PERT and CPM, we can say that PERT and CPMs are the two what you call say operational research techniques which are actually available to the program evaluation to the managers for carrying out their responsibilities. And these PERT and CPMs they are included. Okay, if you see PERT and CPM, PERT and CPM are actually included in different project management softwares like and part of operation research. OR for stands for operation research thing. So let's see what this PERT CPM actually does. So highlights and we are having this project management widely used for this purpose. So we're going to see this. Now, where this PERT and CPM have been used for the variety of projects and other things. So if you see the PERT and CPM's use, you can see that PERT and CPM can be used for this PERT and CPM. Okay, they are used as per this chapter for these things. But actually, PERT and CPM can be used for many things like a construction of new plant, research development, NASA space exploration projects, building ships, government sponsored projects, and other things are there for which the PERT and CPM can be used. So what we see that PERT and CPM are independently developed in the late 1950s that we already discussed in yesterday's lecture. So these are important difference as with that. So we are going to see now the prototype example of PERT and CPM. So I'm just going through the chapter, and then I will upload the same chapter for PERT and CPM to our Google Classroom with yesterday's presentations slides. Okay. So what is say that is a reliable construction company where an example company is given, the name for the company. Okay, and it say that it's made the winning bid. We yesterday have seen that average price something construct new plant for a project manufacturer. Now, what is there? There is a penalty of dollar 3 lakh. Or sorry, yes, 3 lakh. If the reliable has not completed construction within 47 weeks, and there is additional incentive if it that is something that is if it speedy construction, that is within 40 weeks, means 47 week is what we call as an average time, 47 above is called as the worst time, and 40 is called as what you can say the optimal time. So this is a special example of a PERT and CPM. So what is the reliable construction company now is assigning the best construction manager. We call this as a name given as a David Purty to this project to help ensure the things. Okay, so Purty needs to arrange for a number of crews to perform various construction activities at a different times. So Purty created this simple table of different tasks. Okay, so here if you see this table, okay, from the activities are named from A to N. Okay, so all activities are named like this. Likewise, there is no activity which is preceding it, but the B actually starts after A, and so A is the predecessor, immediate predecessor, and here the timing is say required time to complete these activities are given. Now, if you sum up all this timing, the weeks and other things, you will find the time required is quite larger than the 47 week. Okay, so this is a simple table. If a problem is asked, question is asked to build a PERT or CPM, generally you get such type of table with an activity given with the label, then the activity descriptions, what type of activities are there, then what are the immediate predecessors for that, and then the estimated duration. But if you have such a simple table where there is no optimal time, no average time, or no worst time is included, then you can call this as a table for a CPM, what we call as a critical path. Okay, so let's see what this says in next thing, that is give the activity. So for example, the top entries in this column that indicate excavation does not need to wait for any other activity. It can be completed before starting to lay the foundation, and foundation must be completely laid before the thing. So if you see the things, you can say that for this example, this is what the table actually shows. Means if you go through this table, activity table, which is now designed by the party, you should know that excavation won't require any activity, wait for any activity, and it require maximum 2 weeks. You can go on what you can say crashing, that means we can complete this within the 2 week or before 2 week also. So these are what you can say called as the scheduling activity. So when the given activity has more than one immediate predecessor, all must be finished before activity can begin. For example, if you see in this table, okay, the activity this H, okay, is having E and G are the two predecessors. So this activity H can't be started without this E and G completed. Okay, and likewise, so you have to be very what you can say things. So this is what this sentence stands for, that when the given activity has more than one immediate predecessor, all must be finished before activity can begin. So this is what this that is, if you are having any activity that you have if that activity is having more than one predecessor, all those predecessors required to complete within the time. So given this all information of table 10.1, this Purty, Mr. Purty now wants to develop answers to the following questions. What are these questions? These are a few questions are there, okay, that he required to answer. This is why project management is actually very important, or project management network diagrams are things, okay. So these are important. Why these are important? Because it actually minimize the cost involved in implementing the entire project, and thus increases the profit of complete what you can say the organization. And so how can the project be displayed graphically? What is the total time required to complete the project if no delays occur? What do individual activities need to start and finish? When can individual activities start and finish? Early start, early finish, what we call. Which are the critical bottleneck activities? Means if they won't get finished in time, or if without their completion you can't start the new activity, that is called as a bottleneck activity. And for the other activities, how much delay, and likewise. These are the 9 questions that a party need required to answer. So Purty is considered here as the regular practitioner of PERT or CPM, and so he what is this Purty will do? He will build a network from base from the by referring the table 10.1 of this activities and something. So this activity project networks is called the PERT or CPM are generally called as what the project networks. A network or a project network, it is used to represent a project and is called as a project network. It consists of number of nodes typically shown small circles or rectangles, and number of arcs shown as the arrows, and they lead to one another. So this is a simple definition for the project network. Now this table 10.1 indicates three types of information that are needed to describe a project. First, the activity information, second, the precedence relationship, and third, the time information, and those things are given. So if you want to build any PERT or CPM network, you require to have at least these three informations mentioned, okay, or you have to identify these three information, or you have to create the these three information. So you have two type of activities again. The activity on arc means while you're shifting from one activity to another activity, you are doing something that is called as what we call as umbrella activities in software engineering and project management, or what we call is as the simple activities. Now this is the another is what you can say the activity on the network. So you are doing activity on the node and as this as well as on the network. So these are the two activities that you require to go. So if you consider the original version of PERT and CPM, they use the AOA or activity on arc project network. So this was the conventional type of something, and AON is the advancement in the thing. So I'm not going in detail with this because that will be something may not be the part of your syllabus, or it's require actually you to what we can say a very good uh, share. So these are the things, okay, in AON projects are activity on network. So here you are having the reliables projects figure 10.1, which shows the activity. Figure 10.1, which shows the project network of the reliable construction company. Okay, so this can be a reliable software company, and this may be the software development project. Excavate can be considered as analysis. Means if you want to say something, instead of this excavate activity as the excavate activity, you can say this as the communication, or what you can say software requirement specification documentation. Foundation is what we can say white box testing. uh, then these rough walls and other things, what you can see the design and likewise. So you can go with the everything. You will get say rough wall means your user interface design, roof means your user interface design, likewise exterior interior something you can go with such type of say I'm just not adding the text there to make confusion. So these activities actually start, all these activities actually start with Nothing. So first activity which start at the 0th week and which end at the second week is activity A, that is excavation. Once the excavate activity is completed, you go with the activity B. It's required 4 weeks. So this is a 2 week plus 4 weeks. Okay, that is your, you can say, 6 weeks. Then after this 4, you go to the activity C. Now comes the crucial point. Here you are having C. After completion of C, C is the predecessor for activity D, activity E, and activity I. That means you can start activity D, E, and I at the same time. Okay, while the required maximum time is the 7 week, because this is the longest activity. So if you consider this, here you are having these three activities which get actually completed within the 7 week parallelly. But if you go serially, then they require 6 plus 4, 10 plus 7, that is a total 17 week. So what we are doing here, only 7 weeks something. Now here we are having the different thing. Again this G after D, okay, then E. So H is having the predecessor G and E. Well, G require the 7 weeks. So unless and until this G get completed, okay, unless and until this G get completed, you can't start the H, because E is already completed. But once this things completed means, here if you see, you can see that uh, you actually require, to complete these activities. uh, Here means you require to complete this. When these two get completed, then and then only you can work with the activity H. Okay, so you can work with the activity H if these two are completed, else or otherwise not. Now here after the completion of E, you can directly go for this F. Now again, if you see this F and G, they are independent from each other, and so they can be done parallelly. And here you are having, after this, you are having what you can say, this I and this. So here again you are having this one group. So if this one group is not completed, if this one group is not completed, then you can't complete the activity J. So J actually start after the completion of this activity, that is the completion of F and I activity. So once this J is completed, you have the two activities that you can carry out in parallel, because they are two, you can say, uh, independent activities, and the maximum length required here is the 5 weeks. So here K requires the 4 week. And when these two activities get completed, okay, when these two activities get completed actually, then and then only you can complete the activity N. So this activity N is completed after the completion of these two activities. So you get this N on the 6th week. Okay, here after completion of H, you get to this M. And once this M is completed and this N is completed, so here again you are having these two groups. Okay, so if you consider they are related and strongly cohesive, then after the completion of these two activities only, you can reach to the finish. Okay, means you can reach to the finish. So this is the simple CPM, critical path method, project network diagram or project diagram. So you have the start. So building a CPM or PERT is not something very difficult thing. So this is how the CPM will build. Now you can build the CPM using Microsoft project also. So MSP, they uses Gantt chart, or they uses the CPM thing. We are not going into the Gantt chart because Gantt chart is not the part of your syllabus, but you can go with the CPM here, PERT here. So yesterday as I told you that is a PERT is how like this. So generally when we say a PERT node, instead of showing a round circle, PERT node is like this. Okay, here the activity name is given above. So let's stick with the fashion they are using here. So here having the activity name, okay, and then here you are having the different activities or say times and other things in a part. So here you are having this activity name, okay, then you are having this minimum time or the start time required or also start and the finish 2 weeks, okay, and likewise. So you have this excavation start at the first week, ends at the second week, foundation start in the second week, ends at the fourth week, rough wall start on the third week, ends on the 12th week, and likewise. So this is a simple symbol generally used, this symbol. Okay, and you can modify this symbol or you can say modify this container based on the details given in your information. So we have already seen that the different information that you can add here. So this is the example of the same thing, but now this network, because you are given with a more detail, is called as a PERT. This is not the CPM. This is not CPM. CPM uses this type of you can say symbolism which generally uses, that is the nodes are shown in a circle shape, while the PERT uses a more detailed information of the things, and every node it shows all the information, start time, finish time, and likewise. So this is a PERT which is nowadays called as MS project or MSP that can be used there. Okay, so scheduling the project using the PERT or CPM required you the five you require to have these five questions. That is, just say at the 10 mention that Perty, the project manager for Reliance, his first question has been answered in the preceding section. That is when he created the PERT and the thing. So the next five questions that he required to answer these five questions that we are going to see in this section. Here from question number 2 onwards to 6. So what is the critical path? So first thing is that critical path you can this say that it is a path through a project network is one of the routes following arcs from start to finish the node. Okay, and the length of the path is the sum of the estimated duration of the activities on the path. So if you go with the grand total here of these activities, grand total of the timing of activities, it is around 79 weeks, and the limitation given to us is 47 week maximum, and we can guess. So the six paths through the project network can be identified in table 2 and calculation of length of these paths. So the path lengths range from 31 to 44 weeks, and so given these path lengths, what should be the estimated project duration? Okay, other time required. So what this is the Dijkstra shortest path algorithm, simply saying that we are trying to find out the shortest path which actually require minimum time, so longer, and so that is what you can say. So here table 10.2 shows that there are certain paths here, and those paths can complete the things in 40 weeks. So when you say ABCD, we are doing some tasks in parallel. That's why the longest things here, say here, if you see this, since the activities on any given path must be done one after another with no overlap, the project duration cannot be shorter than the path length. This is the first. But if, however, the project duration can be longer because some activities on the path with multiple immediate precedents might have the wait longer and the immediate processor to finish the path. For example, if you go through the this diagram, CPM diagram, okay, critical path method diagram, you will find in the critical path method diagram here you are having this 1, 2 and 3 activities. This requires 6 weeks, this requires 4 weeks, and this requires 7 weeks. So the time for this, no matter which path you decides, means ABCD, ABCE, ABCI, the time required is 7 weeks. Time required is 7 weeks, even if it go with the 4 week, and the extra time is called as a slack time if the task get completed very much before the things. So this is what the thing. So here you are having this all paths A B C D G H M. So here see A B C 10 weeks, then you have the 6 7 9 2 40 weeks time, 31 weeks time, 43, and likewise. So this project duration will not be longer than one particular path. So this is the longest path that must have to be sequential. Okay, so the longest path. Okay, whatever the longest path is there, this longest paths things are like something, means what we say. However, sorry, don't say it. It's better to have the highlighter. So if you have this, so we can say that is without interruption. So this is the thing, that is, however, this project duration will not be longer than one particular. Activities on this path can be performed sequentially without interruption, one after another. Means A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and so you get the 79 weeks total. So what we say here as the critical path, or something like a critical path thing, that estimated project duration equals the what can say longest path through the project, longest they all are the critical path. So if more than one path type for the longest, they are all the critical path. So here the critical path is the longest path. The critical path here is the 44 weeks. So for reliable construction, it is a 44 weeks. So you will say that, sir, why you are not choose this 31 weeks? Because it's not covering many activities. The 44 weeks path is the path which actually covers almost all the activities, and so that is the critical path. That means you are actually construction. So now we have answered this practice question 2 and 5, and so I can complete the things in a 44 weeks, and per CPMs are there. So if you go with the scheduling now individual activities, the per CPM scheduling procedure begins by addressing question number 4. You have to go through the question number 4 first, that is, when can this individual activity start and finish at the earliest if no delays occur. This is a simple question number 4 that we are having. So this PERT and CPM, it starts with that. So here you require no delays occur. So having no delays means first actual duration and second thing. So this is the simple thing that you require to go through. Now you require to consider the earliest start time and the earliest finish time for the starting and something, the starting the project. So the earliest start time and earliest finish time, these are represented by the ES and EF as the symbol. On EF, that earliest finish is the ES plus estimated duration of the activity. So if you go with this, you can say these are the thing that you require to conscious of when it comes to creating the thing. So starting time for the project is 0, and since the activity A starts, reliable projects we have 0, and 0 plus is a 2 week. So ES here is the 0 and EF is the 2 week. But we can make complete this within. So here the calculation is given. You can go through this calculation. I'm not. So I'm simply saying that is. I'm saying this. You go through this calculation. Okay, the entire page, and so here you are having these durations and likewise. So 29 like, and you get now this chart calculated. So you get all this finish line at the fourth. Okay, I'm not going now. So if you go on calculating, early start means when the things started and when they are finished. So we got these start and finish lines here. So activity G has EF 29, activity E has early finish 20 and larger early finish is 29. So if you go here, you will get those 29 and 25 and something things if you see the diagram detail. So the earliest start time of an activity is equal to the largest of the earliest finish time. And so ES equal to largest EF of the immediate predecessor. So earliest start time rule is given here. So if you go with this, you get the start time and the EF time here for these things, and so the end earliest finish time will be 44. So this was called as this the process which starting with the initiate uh, thing, this process what we say, which start with the initial just a minute. I should have to say that is this process which start with this and pass through networks. This is called as a forward pass, starting with the initial activities and working forward in time toward. So latest start time for an activity is the latest possible time that it can start with without any delay and complete it with the thing. Uh, book itself it is highlighted, but still I am highlighting it so that you can go through the notes very easily. Okay, after upload. So here you are having the symbol. It's called as the latest start time and it's called the latest finish time. So you are in the ES, EF, LS, LF. Okay, so these symbols can be used to show the latest start time. For example, the you can start this in the first week, but latest time start time may be 1.2 like that. Okay, so this latest start latest finish time, and this LS is given with LF minus estimated duration of the activity. So this is what you can say. So here it is already highlighted. The latest finish time of the activity is equals to. So if you go through the next part of these things, what you will find that these are calculated like this: ls equal to 0, lf equal to 0. So latest finish time is 0, latest thing, so latest start time 0, finish time 0, and like, and you are calculating this using the CPM, that is the 44 is the time. So you can even identify the slack. I already told you that is slack is something, there is a earliest time, and likewise slack is this is not we are not having important CPM in so detail in our syllabus. Okay, so this is what you can say. How now? What is the slack for the reliable activities that we are saying, that is equal to 0? Here you are in this 4, 4, 4, and likewise the table is built for the identified slack. And again, you require to ask the various questions before going further onward. Okay, and once this question is answered, then this Mr. Purty can deal with the uncertainty activity duration. So now comes in picture the PERT, because CPM deals with the certainty while the PERT deal with the uncertainty. So now we are having this PERT 3 estimate approach. How PERT 3 estimate approach is there? PERT consider most likely time, optimistic time, and pessimistic time. So what we call these are the average case, optimal case, and the worst case, or the pessimistic time. The estimation of duration under the most unfavorable condition, and likewise to complete the particular task is the pessimistic. So we are having this three estimate of the PERT. Then this PERT actually can be calculated using this variance formula, that is sigma square equals to uh, p minus small o divided by 6 square. So is this also called as the 6 sigma roughly. So here you are having this graph for this beta distribution for elapsed time and likewise. So this is your optimal time, or the finish start time. This is what you can say, and your p or the pessimistic time required. हॅलो, मी लेक्चरमध्ये आहे, थोड्या वेळाने कॉल करतो. So this is the thing that we are required to go through things. So this mu, that the mean can be calculated, approximated formula here using this. Again, this is not in we are not going to ask these details in your examination, but just for the knowledge sake we are having this. So this simplify approximations are there, and what we get the table which is now for the PERT. So here you are the activity, optimistic duration, most likely means the given duration, and the pessimistic means let's say you go late by 1. You get the mean mu equals to 2 and the variance sigma. square, that is you get the 1 by 9. And likewise, so using this table you can then calculate the paths, and using these tables you can go with the different weeks required based on whether it's follow the optimistic path, or it follows the average, or what you can say most likely path, or it follows the worst or the pessimistic path, and likewise. So these things are there in the PERT projection. So if you say start and the finish, if you go with calculation, if you say calculate and simplifying approximation, and likewise you get something like that. The mean time is the 44 and 47 is the deadline. Project duration in the weeks, actually if you go the continuously, is the 79 weeks, and you can complete this within the time. So approximating the probability of meeting the deadline, this probability of meeting the deadline k alpha, that can be given. And I'm not going through the all detailed reading, just so this is the PERT calculations done on the MS project template in operation research. And when you go with the considering this time cost trade-off, means whatever the time require, and you get, so you get the crash and the normal. So crash means you are actually completing something before time. So here you got this crash cost which is high, okay, while the crash time is there which is low. Crash time, so then you are having this crash time here which is actually here. So when you have this crash time which is smaller in the length, and you get the crash point, so normal time required with the normal cost means you get the things. Now here this cost is actually positive, means you are getting some reward. Say if you do the thing in normally, you are not getting any reward. But if you do this I can say the crash time, you say this is a crash time, if you do this within this crash time, you get this reward. So this is what you can say difference. So you get the raise in the cost, but this raise in the cost is actually the profit made by the organization, and that's why these things are required to be considered. Crashing means you should have to complete your work before time, not on time or after time. For example, CAE2, sorry, TAE2, that presentation you are not done thing. So if you see this now the PERT table, normal time required is 2 weeks, crash time means the job is finished within 1 week, that is optimally. So you actually saved this crash cost per week, you actually got what you can say the more you can say profit in this. So this is what you can say crashing concept that we all discuss in the thing. So here are the cost concept are given, and likewise, so with this you can say thing. Now we are not going to see what is linear programming, and likewise that is a part of machine learning in project management and something. So here is the what you can say CPM, the project network, or this also called as critical path methodology, critical path network, or this also can be considered as a PERT, because this is just the symbol. Here you can add this information into a square box, and this becomes the PERT network. Okay, so this is what you can say that is the PERT network. I'm not going in detail with the mathematical thing or the statistical analysis or data science of the project management here. Yeah, so you get such a table. If you go through this chapter, you can read all the details. You can see. So this Pert's conclusion is here after this CPM and PERT, that trigger he can do there is a 50% chance of earning the bonus of $1,50,000 rupees. Okay, so instead, so spending this $140,000 extra to obtain this 50% chance. So instead of spending more on that, it actually conclude and try the plan for crashing the project only provides probability of 50%. So whenever if you are having this, if you go with the crashing, and if your chance of getting the finishing the project more than 50%, you should have to choose the crashing. If it is 50% or below that, you must not have to choose the crashing. So that is what this say, and you are having the different conclusion or what you can say decision making. So what you can say the cost is the systematic procedure normally computerized to help the project manager. And here what we can say. Just control Z. So PERT cost is the systematic project cost and that required to calculate. So you are making many assumptions. You are giving the estimated duration, estimated cost per week of each duration, and likewise, so project budget of for this project is now created based on this CPM and per chart, and the scheduling of the project cost started, and likewise. So for per generally the tables are necessary in these tables, and then can be used to create the graphs or what you can say the charts. So you may have the pie chart, something Gantt chart, and other charts, or may have the other things. So what are the controlling project costs, and likewise these are calculated based on the things, and tables are created. So this is a total 65 pages of the chapter are there, out of which first 30-40 pages are what you can say uh, yeah, very thing, and here you are having few examples. So you are having this 10.3, immediate, and likewise you can go through. Here you are having this PERT chart, or you can say the CPM chart, critical path method graph, and based on that you require to calculate or you require to draw based on these tables the PERT or CPM chart. So this is the end of your uh, sixth unit, and completion of the entire software engineering and project management syllabus. In brief, I can't say in detail because it is impossible for anyone who is right now working in CPM to complete this software engineering and project management uh, completely within what you can say 1 or 2 months. This is simply what we can say that you are introduced with the basic principles of software engineering and project management, and how to create the timetables or time charts, or what we call as a PERT and CPM, how to create work breakdown structure, project breakdown structure, or what we call as the software engineering process model, or how to execute them, what we call as the agile software processing or extreme programming, how to design, that is what we call as a rational unified process, where you are creating use case, class diagram, sequence diagram, activity chart, state chart, and other diagrams. Okay, so with all this our CPM syllabus is completed. In brief, for further can say exploration into the SCPM, you should have to go through the books of Somerville, this book of Roger Pressman, and this chapter 10 from the book of Hiller and Lieberman on the PERT and CPM. Now, for the next few lectures, because you are this section, we are going to conduct next few lectures just to introduce you the hands-on of the UML diagramming, like the what is use case diagram, what is class diagram, and how to draw them, and likewise, and some revision of every unit in the next lecture. So we are going to conduct at least at most six, and at least if you go with the optimal and per chart something three. Okay, so optimally we are going for the three more lectures. Most likely we are going to for the six more lecture, and pessimistically we can say in a worst case, if if you won't satisfy the things, we can go for the seven more lecture. Okay, but I will try to finish everything optimally. So we are going to conduct till 21st of August we are given with the things. So 15 August is tomorrow is a holiday, actually Independence Day, and that why we are not having any lectures or something. Then you are having the Sunday 16th of August. So 17th and 18th I think you are having some your CAE 3 schedule something. Mm, so we may get the 19, 20, and 21. So we are going to complete the lectures uh, for that. So maximum 3 lectures, extra lectures that we are going to take for the revision of the entire syllabus once again in brief. So anybody from you, if having any questions, queries, or anything, you are free to ask now. Okay, I'm going to upload this PDF file marked with mark, that's why I saved it, and markings, and the yesterday's presentation on PERT and CPM on the Google Classroom today itself before 12 p.m. Okay, so don't worry about the notes and anything. So now what I am saying, if you like the session and the sessions, today's session, you can give me the thumbs up. Yes, waiting for that in question and answer or on your thing. Okay, you can give the applause and likewise and something. So for the next 3 sessions, revision session also, I expect. Uh, Thank you, sir. Okay, Krishna Lawari says okay. Titania says okay. Riddhi Nilavar, thank you. Because it's something that is when you applause your teacher, mentor, not just like a experienced person like me, even the non-experienced person, something they get what you can say. Just like say, suppose if you do something good and if I clap for you, what will happen? Okay, you feel what you can say nurtured, and you then for the next lecture, for the next batch, you will try to pour you a little bit extra into whatever you are doing. But if say there is no response, no question answering, and no what you can say giving the thumbs up to your mentor, the mentor will automatically start feeling that you are not giving something say. Yes, Asma, what's your question? Yes, I unmuted you. Asman Nihal have given the thumbs up. So I'm really thankful to you for being with me for this long duration and to go through all this. Due to the overwork of different kinds, research and other things, I actually not managed to create the presentation for these problems. So instead, I use the entire chapter and simply shown you the chapter. So there is no what you can say copyright infringement, because this chapter is the sample chapter given by this Hiller and Lieberman, 7th edition on the project management techniques or the operation research in project management. Okay, so this is with the PERT and CPM. Now I'm stopping sharing, and I'm really thankful to all of you for attending SCPM's the lectures very regularly, and I expect for the next few lectures you will show the same enthusiasm. Okay, thank you very much, and I am ending this session now. Thank you.